Hey, I'm Siobhan, community cultivator and founder of BEFREE Project. The BEFREE Project podcast was created for community, sisterhood, and personal growth. Each week, you'll be inspired and motivated to do the work to show up for yourself so you too can feel fulfilled and be free. Now grab a pen and a notebook and let's get into the show. The best decision that you can make today is joining the BEFREE Inner Circle at BEFREEInnerCircle.com, a community for like-minded women to find their forever friends and get accountability to do their personal growth work. Your membership includes a private, exclusive community of women who are not only showing up for themselves, but for one another. Weekly live events with me and or guest speakers. Daily accountability, so this way you can finally get stuff done, mentorship from yours truly, and so much more. Now, there's no long-term commitment and you can cancel at any time. However, I can guarantee the moment you join, you're going to feel a warm embrace and you're going to want to stick around. Every single member of the BEFREE Inner Circle will walk away with clarity, fulfillment, and confidence because guess what? When you're around me, you're going to win. So come and grow inside the BEFREE Inner Circle at BEFREEInnerCircle.com. Hey, welcome back to another episode of the BEFREE Project podcast. As always, I'm so happy that you chose to listen in for another week. Okay, so last week, y'all, I did not put out an episode and I tried my hardest, but every obstacle, every challenge that you can imagine would have come up, it did. So much so that I was like, you know what, Siobhan, it is fine. It will be okay. We will try again next week. So here we are. All right. So today's episode is going to be so good. Get your pen and paper out so you can take notes because what I'm about to share is going to challenge you in such a way that you are going to want to show up for yourself in a bigger and better way. So last week I posed this question inside the BEFREE Inner Circle, and the question really was just for the community to answer. And then as I was seeing all of their responses, I was like, oh, wait, this is so good. I need to share this with my podcast community. And so I'm going to share the question with you, and then I'm going to share all of the responses that have come through thus far. All right. And the question that I posed inside the BEFREE Inner Circle was, if you can share one piece of advice to anyone just starting their personal growth journey, what would that be? And y'all, I'm telling you, the responses that I was reading through, I was like, yo, I feel like so amazing. And then also just reading the responses from the community members, I too was inspired. All right, so Alethea says, shower yourself with grace because you have made it to this moment. And what I love about what Alethea said is that you made it to this moment. And so often we put so much pressure on ourselves, or we're so hard on ourselves. And what Alethea is reminding us to do is show ourselves some grace because you've made it this far. All right. Terry says to commit to your personal growth journey daily, even if it's only 15 minutes a day. And what I love about that is because so often I hear women put so much on their plates and they want to get all of the things done. And then you end up beating up on yourself because you didn't do much of nothing. And so Terry is reminding us to take 15 minutes a day to pour into yourself. In fact, this is what I encourage the BEFREE Inner Circle members to do. I said, hey, check into the community a minimum of 15 minutes. That way you're allowing me to fill your cup because you're giving so much of yourself to your job, your family, everybody else. Allow me to fill your cup. So I love how Terry focuses on 15 minutes a day. Ashley says, life leaves clues. It speaks to you every day in a way where you understand. Pay attention, open up your mind, listen, and take your mistakes as lessons learned. That is so powerful because women tend to focus so much on their past mistakes. But what Ashley is telling us is to learn the lessons from the mistakes you made. Don't be too hard on yourself. Think through, okay, this is a mistake that I made. How can I learn from this so that I don't repeat it next time? Sierra says, beautiful. This is indeed a journey. When it gets tough, feel it as long as you need to, then let it go and keep going. Samidra says, be patient with yourself. Patrice says, be gentle with yourself and cry it out. And what I love about that is when Patrice says to cry it out. And crying is healing. Crying is therapeutic. Crying helps you cleanse and release. And I want to recommend that you cry as often as you need to. In fact, I'll be honest, this past week, I shed a lot of tears. And I can still feel like there's more tears that's going to come up, but I'm not, I don't shy away from crying. I allow myself to express myself in that way because it's very healing and cleansing for me. Claudette says, be willing. Chandra says, don't look for the end. Embrace the journey and always live in the moment you're in. Never overlook your progress. Celebrate every new level you grow to. And I love a couple of things about this. When she says, never overlook your progress, that means any progress that you're making, honor that. And then she says to celebrate every new level that you grow to. And that's something that my friends and I talk about all the time where, whenever we have an accomplishment, it's like, okay, how are you going to celebrate this moment? And so we've each created celebration lists so that when we have a moment to acknowledge and to celebrate, we can pull something from that list that we're going to do. And I also tell the BEFREE Inner Circle members this all the time. I ask them, how are you going to celebrate this moment? Because we have to get comfortable with celebrating ourselves. We're quick to celebrate everybody else, but I want to remind you to celebrate yourself. I shared, surround yourself with women you can grow with. The journey gets hard and lonely, and you need friends in your corner that will support you along the way. And boy, oh boy, that is the absolute truth. Yes, I said it, but it's the truth, right? And I'm learning even now, as I'm growing and becoming Siobhan in the full essence of who I am, I need my friends in a different way, and their support now is everything to me because it's helping me see myself. Janetta says, trust the process. Cerise says, don't get overwhelmed with the wealth of information and people out there when you start. Explore whatever you are drawn to, and don't think you have to master each thing, topic, technique that comes your way. I love that because it's so easy to get distracted and get overwhelmed with everything on the internet. You're taking this course, you're going to this class, you're going to this event, you're buying this book. So now you have information overload and you've consumed all of this information, but guess what you forgot to do? Execute. So now you have all the information. When are you going to do something with it? And at this point in your life, I'm sure you know exactly what you need, especially if you're listening to the BEFREE Project podcast week after week. You're listening. So now start applying the things that you've learned. Keisha says, be kind to yourself. Don't compare your journey to anyone else's. Trust that where you are is where you're supposed to be and keep moving forward. Growth can have its share of pain. Embrace the woman you are becoming at each stage. I love that so much, especially the line when she says, growth can have its share of pain. I remember my friend was telling me, there's mourning in the growth process. And when she said that, I was like, that is so true. Because when you're releasing and letting go behaviors, patterns, people, you're going to experience some pain as you become the woman that you desire to be. Latanya says, to take it one day at a time, release all emotions needed because this shit can get hard. Be compassionate with yourself and surround yourself with good people who love and support you. Sylvia says, breathe and enjoy the moment and be loving and kind to yourself. Crystal says, most days you'll feel great and some days you won't. Extend grace and don't should on yourself on the not so great days. Healing involves your participation every day. I love this. I did a whole episode about the 2 words that I wanted you to remove from your vocabulary. And one of those words was should, because we have a habit of saying, I should do this. I should be doing that. I should be further along. And what is that based off of? Right? So the more you should on yourself, the more you're holding yourself back and the more you're staying stuck and stagnant. I also love when she says healing involves your participation every day. And I couldn't agree more. Donna says, remember to take care of your whole self, mind, body, and soul. Positive affirmations help you overcome challenges and negative thoughts. Affirm yourself daily. And Felicia says, be completely honest with yourself. I love all of the advice that the BEFREE Inner Circle members have given. And I want to point out 2 things. Number 1, every single member said something different, completely different, and yet all of it is words of wisdom. And number 2, all the beautiful advice that they shared, and yet they're still inside the BEFREE Inner Circle because they understand that doing the personal growth work takes community. It takes being around like-minded women that you can do life with. And I love that because they all shared something different, and yet they're all inside the BEFREE Inner Circle, I can see how each and every single one of them is flourishing every single day. And this is not everyone inside the BEFREE Inner Circle. This is only the women who decided to share. And I think it's beautiful. And so no matter where you're at on your personal growth journey, whether you're in the beginning, the middle, the end, wherever you're at, this advice is for you. I often get asked, what is the next step, Siobhan? What should I do after listening to your podcast? You know what you need to do next is to join the BEFREE Inner Circle. Because again, you want to be in a safe space where you can share your insecurities, you can share your vulnerable moments, you can get the celebration that you need when it comes to reaching your goals, you get accountability, you build new friendships, and so many more things happen inside the community. Every single week, there's a live event that you get to participate in. And then let me say this, because it needs to be said. You invest your time into people you care less about spending it with. You invest money into things that don't serve a purpose in your life or was good for something temporary. You invest in men. You invest in other relationships. You invest in many things that don't necessarily add to your growth. So why not invest in yourself for once? Why not say, you know what? This year is going to look different. And the only way that it's going to look different if I do something different. I mean, when you're investing in going out to eat or going out for drinks and new clothes and shoes, and that's cute. But if you really want to change your life, if you want to find fulfillment and you want to grow, you're going to have to invest in something a little bit different. Community is everything. Look, I had a hard week last week, and thank God for my community. Thank God for my support system. Thank God for my mental and emotional health, because that is what gets me through. That is what helps me keep showing up for myself. So I want to challenge you to commit to your personal growth like never before. I'm going to do my part every week. As long as no weird stuff pop up, I'm going to keep showing up on the podcast. I'm going to keep showing up on Instagram. I'm going to keep showing up, sending you newsletters, and of course, showing up inside the BEFREE Inner Circle. That's where I get to coach, where I get to mentor, where I get to hold accountability and be your biggest cheerleader. So if you've been on the fence and you're like, I don't know if I should join it, I don't know about, the cost point, you invest in everything else. Why not invest in yourself? And because I know, it takes time to trust and get comfortable, you're introverted, you don't know how to be around a whole lot of women, take a step and trust me and just allow me to create and cultivate the space for you. So when you go to BeFreeInnerCircle.com, there's going to be a lot of information there for you. Read through it and then click the join button. You're going to set up your password and your login information. And the moment you join the community, you're going to feel a warm embrace. You're going to feel so much love and support from women all over the world. And you're going to feel like, man, I wish I would have joined sooner. What have I been waiting on? So again, go to BeFreeInnerCircle.com. If you ever have a question for me, you can always shoot me an email or DM me on the gram. Your journal prompt for this week is list out your gifts. What makes you special and what makes you unique? Your affirmation is, I am who I am. Now I'm going to shout out my coffee giver of the week, who happens to be my friend Tamika. And she says, keep doing amazing work. I'm so inspired by you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I appreciate that. I love the work that I get to do every single day. And I love that I get to inspire women all over the world to do their work. So thank you, Tamika. And if you want to support my work and you're inspired by what I put out every single week and you're like, let me just treat Siobhan to a cup of coffee, 2 cups, 3 cups, whichever you prefer, I'm always grateful and thankful. The link to do that is always in the show notes. So yes, simply show your support by treating me to a cup of coffee. All right, so I have something exciting that I want to share with you. We're going to do something new here on the podcast because I want to get my community involved. So now you can ask a question about personal growth and or friendship, or you can share your thoughts about any of the episodes. And all you got to do is call in to 216-438-0830 and leave a voicemail with your name, where you're from, and then ask your question or share your feedback. I'm going to play your voicemail live on the podcast, and I'll answer or respond to you in real time. So again, I want you to call into 216-438-0830. Leave a message. I'm going to listen to it. Don't forget, you want to leave your name, where you're from, and then ask your question about personal growth and or friendship, or share any feedback, key takeaways, or thoughts about any of the episodes, and I'll respond in real time on the podcast. I'm excited because I really want my community to be involved in my podcast, and I'm a community cultivator, so this is perfect. All right. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast if you haven't yet. Give a 5-star review. Leave a sentence or two about what you thought about the episode. And then another amazing thing you can do is share the episode with your friends and then talk about it. So send your friends the link and say, hey girl, I want you to listen to this, and then let's talk about it when you're done. I think that will be a great way to get your friends involved in what you're listening to. And then you both can start to share your insights. I know there's one lady who DM'd me on Instagram that her and her friends do listen to the podcast and they do discuss it. So I'm grateful for that. And I want to encourage you to do that as well. Lastly, I would love for you to share this episode on Instagram by tagging me at BEFREE Project or Siobhan Sudbury. You can send it to your stories. You can post it on your feed. Just let me know you shared it, and I can't wait to see it. And until next time, girl, be free.
Hi, my name's Alethea, and I'm from Willingboro, New Jersey, and I joined the BEFREE Inner Circle because I have been listening to Siobhan's podcast for about a year, and I loved her energy. I felt instantly connected to her story and was just inspired to do the work in this healing journey. And when I joined the BEFREE Inner Circle, it was the best experience I've had thus far in regards to sisterhood. The women are friendly, they're genuine, they're supportive, and I can truly call them my forever friends. I feel like the BEFREE Inner Circle is just like a family. We're one big family, and Siobhan cultivates such a authentic and genuine community, and she also inspires us to be unapologetically ourselves. So the best decision you could possibly make today would be join the BEFREE Inner Circle. We can't wait to meet you. And thank you again, Siobhan, for always, always, always teaching us to be free.